So guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here I have the BassJaxx Dual LED wireless speaker, and you can find this at Five Below. I only saw a couple of them. One comes in white. There is one that comes in black. I haven't seen any other colors, but the RGB lights over here, the LED lights, do change as the speaker is on. Now for tech specs, apparently this has a FM mode, which I'm not going to check that one out. I'm not really interested. Apparently the FM mode only works if you guys use one speaker at a time. So that beats the whole purpose of the speaker setup. Though it is Bluetooth 5.3, so that's a good thing. USB-C on the back. Hour and a half to 2 hours of battery life, depending if you listen to it like 60% and up. And it also has the same charge time, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So that's pretty much on brand for a lot of the BassJaxx products. Outside of that, doesn't seem like a bad speaker. So let's unbox this together and see if it's actually worth the asking price. So I already took the liberty of unboxing this for you, and it's already powered on. So you can just see how the LEDs change all the time when it's powered on. It's not based on music or beat. It's just going to change on its own. Now it does come with, like I said, the USB-C right here. So that's a good thing. In case you're wondering where the USB-C is, that is on the back right here. That's the connection. Now as for the actual headsets themselves, I actually like the small cube design. I think it looks really, really good. It's a really clean, nice look. A lot of times when you play with the mesh on these BassJaxx headphones, they tend to get like, they're normally very cheap, but you can definitely tell that they're with the attention to detail to this particular headset. Now, you do have the USB-Cs separately on the back. For anyone wondering, in case you lose the dock or don't use the dock, you have the option to actually charge these separately, and you can use them separately or dual, which I'm only going to show you how to use them dual because that's what people want to do. Automatically, when you turn them on, they're automatically, when you go to Bluetooth and sync them, it's separate. So that's why showing you how to make them dual speakers is more important than showing you how to make them separate, because they're already preset that way. Now you have the power button, you have volume up and down. These do double down as two functions. So if you hold it, I want to say that either it goes up, the volume goes up and down when you hold it, or it changes the song. It does say that in the instructions, which I'm going to show you in the next part. So even though I'm telling you this, don't worry, I will have the instructions for anyone that's interested in seeing that part immediately. Outside of that, I like these speakers so far. They feel good. They look pretty pleasing. Obviously, there's no IP rating or anything like that, so don't put them near water or anything. I believe this one finally died, or it has a timer, one of the two, but I think it's a timer. They both actually went off around the same time. I like them so far. They look aesthetically pleasing. I think it looks nice to just put these on a desk. All you got to do is just fit them into, so the back, this is the back part. So they fit into the back like so, and then you're good to go. So remember, when you see a charger port and you see these ports in the back, that's how they fit. And then you're good to go. So you have two ways to actually charge them. I like them. So far, it looks pretty good. I think it's a neat little finish. This is the type of stuff I like to see, push the envelope. Obviously, dual speakers exist, but for them to come in the same pack for $10, that's not the worst purchase I've ever seen. That's actually pretty cool that they do. Though I highly doubt the sound's going to be anything out of this world. We'll still have to check that. More importantly, let me show you the actual instructions. Here are the instructions here, guys. Let me pull this up here. So for the people out there, let me explain this. If you lost the instructions, you might have some difficulty syncing this, which I'm going to show you in the next part, how to sync it and make them both dual speakers together. But for now, take pictures, screenshots, whatever you need to do, so you have the instructions. So we have power on, packaging content, pair speaker with your mobile device, charging your speaker right here. It even shows you what the speakers do in terms of, here we go, Bluetooth mode. So you have the option to play music. If you long press, which means hold it, it'll change the songs previous and backwards. If you short press, which is just tap once, volume up and down. So there you go. That's how you actually use the controls. This is TWS mode. So it actually shows you how to put it where the left side syncs to the right or the right syncs to the left, and they're in unison, which I'll show you that part in the next section. Change to FM radio mode. You have that option. Let me say this. It says right here that no, plug in the USB-C charging cable will improve FM radio sensibility. So you can actually keep this charging while it's currently on, which is very important, especially with that very short battery life. So for the people out there that think it only lasts 2 hours, just keep it on the dock and you should be fine. Let me also say that in Bluetooth radio mode, from my understanding, you may not be able to use both speakers together for that mode. Don't quote me on that one, but that's something that I read earlier. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So let me just flip this over. You see all the instructions right here. You're good to go. Let's go ahead and show you how to sync it. The most important aspect of this entire video, how to actually use the device. So the sync process on this was a little confusing at first. I had to figure out how to do it off camera. Now I think I have it down packed. So these speakers can be synced separately where you can use one or the other, but then there's a way to actually sync them together. So let's do that. So from my understanding, if you hold the power button, I'm going to turn them both on. All right. Now with normal speakers, they would sync to each other. One would sync to the other right away. Now, according to this, you're supposed to hold the power button for a couple seconds in order for it to find the other one to sync. So let's try that. Now, I think they're in sync, in tune with each other right now since I did that. So here's the weird part, right? I'm going to go to the setting and sync it. Just bear with me when I do this, because it came out differently each time. So I want to make sure I get it correctly. Here we go. So it says SP0235. That's a speaker. You saw the process of what I did. Now I'm syncing them both together. All right. Now see if I can hear it. Hear it. All right. So it looks like they're both synced now. So in order to sync them both, what ends up happening is when you power them both on, they're not synced to one another. You're supposed to hold the power button for 2 seconds when you heard that noise, and then it'll automatically sync to the opposite side. And if you choose to unsync them, you can hold that button again, and only one speaker is going to produce sound when you do that. So it is a pretty interesting feature. It does allow you to use them separately, but it also allows you to use them together, which, to be honest, you're really meant to use these two speakers together. So for anyone out there, just watch this tutorial again, what I did, and it's a very simple process of how to sync them. But what I will say is right outside the box, a lot of people are probably going to have issues syncing the speaker, and it can be a little frustrating. I had to do it about 3 times until I figured how to do it, how to disconnect, how to reconnect. So now it's actually working. That's a good thing. Let's go on to the next section, and that's going to be how it sounds with actual gameplay. So guys, right here, here's the sound test. Now, I am going to play the game, of course, but let me just turn the speaker up in the back, see if it goes any higher. Nope, it's the highest it goes. So whatever volume, actually, let me try this one too, be safe. Yeah, it's the highest volume. Make sure this is turned all the way up. Yep. So the speaker volume isn't anything to really, it's not super loud at all. Okay, so for video purposes, I am going to play Elden Ring with you guys, just to give you an idea of the quality of sound. I'm probably going to die on this part, but that's okay. This is all for the sake of reviews. Remember, it's at its max volume, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Okay. It sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. Unfortunately, I can't pause the game, but I'm about to tell you in a second. Now, I am playing, like I said, at 100% volume. So if you're speaking to someone else inside of a room, this is not really going to do you any justice, being honest here. I didn't hit anything that whole time. Alright, I'm about to die. It's all good. That's fine. Alright, so honestly, let me pause it real fast. So the volume for the speaker isn't bad, if we're being completely honest here, but other BassJaxx products that you can buy for $5, $7 definitely sound louder than this. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, the aesthetic of it being able to sit on a charger dock and just play is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I do like the fact that it has the RGB lights and they do change colors from time to time. You know, not as fast as I want it to be, but it's not a big deal. Just a minor gripe. These are, I mean, it's an interesting pair of speakers, to say the least, because of how they look and what they're capable of doing, because you've never seen something like this at 5 below before. But the quality of sound just really isn't there. So even if you use this for podcasting or just listening to music in general, I don't think you're going to have a bad listening experience, but it doesn't quite add up to, oh, you know what, I'll keep it like this. It doesn't quite add up to the experience that I'm used to, especially with other BassJaxx products. It feels like you're dealing with two speakers with small drivers, and they really make up just basically one generic speaker from 5 below. But I do like the concept of being able to have these cubes. I do like having a charging cradle. So this is going to be a lot more responsible for a person that likes this. Now, I do plan on putting this on my computer desk, as a matter of fact, and I'm going to use these hooked up to my Steam Deck. I normally use the JBL speaker because the monitor I have doesn't have its own sound coming out of it. So whenever I hook this up to like my monitor, I'll use a Bluetooth headset. I don't mind using this for this because it looks nice. I think this is a nice little addition to pack up with the Steam Deck, especially it's aesthetically pleasing. It looks nice. But in terms of sound, it's just not quite all the way there. The bass isn't quite there. When you're listening to other songs and things, it'll sound good, but you could definitely tell what it's lacking. And these small speakers, they don't pack that much power, for being honest here. But with that being said, let's go over to the last section and kind of talk about, are they worth purchasing? So to put this in perspective, whether this is a good speaker, I happen to actually like it. Now, granted, I didn't give it the best sound profile during that little video, nor did I use the best sound for you guys to hear, but understand that I want to make sure that certain music is, you know, in video games are copyrighted, and I want this video to go through without any problems so I can at least monetize it. Now, the sound of this is not big brain sound. What I mean by that is, if you're expecting to get like crazy amounts of bass out of this headset, it's not going to happen. Now, I like the physical aesthetic. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to use this speaker on my desk. I'm going to use this for my Steam Deck. Now, granted, I do have JBL speakers. I have JLab speakers. I have so many other different brands sitting at home, but I happen to like the way this is. This dual setup, I like the cubes. I think it's pretty cool looking. Granted, it's not the loudest sound in the world, but because I'm hooking up to my Steam Deck dock, I don't mind if it doesn't have the biggest sound. Now, for you people that skip that part, let me kind of explain. The bass, this does not have amazing bass. It does sound a little cloudy, not like there's no breakage whatsoever with the Bluetooth connectivity. At least for me, I didn't have a problem. And I have tried it on the phone in addition to a Steam Deck, though the Steam Deck is what I showed you guys. The phone experience was a little bit different. Again, it still didn't disconnect whatsoever. You can use the cubes by itself, but dual wielding the cubes, having them sync to one another does bring out bigger sound, and it's in unison. I didn't have any issues whatsoever where one was a little laggy or off. That's my experience. Your experience may be a little bit different, but I'm just talking about I had a seamless experience with this. Nothing disconnected, no problems whatsoever. Though what I will say is similar to like JLab headphones, the quality of sound did sound a little underwater. Like when I played Elden Ring and you guys seen it, it just wasn't quite up to par. It sounded like washed out a little bit, but that's to expect when you have a off-brand company making headsets. This isn't JLab, this isn't JBL, this isn't Skull Candy, it's not Beats, so, you know, temper your expectations. But for the price tag, it's not bad. I honestly have no issues or anything really bad to say about this. Outside of the sync process initially, it did take me 3 times to do that, but I did get it correctly at the 3rd time so I could show you guys properly how to do it. And it was just minor issues, nothing that serious. I happen to like it. It is worth the $10 in my opinion. Go ahead and pick yourself up a pair, even if it's not for you. I think someone else that never had a Bluetooth or just needs some type of Bluetooth would like this. They could just take it off their dresser, especially if they're in bed playing the game, have it right in front of them when they're done, pop it right back on, keep using it while it's charging. It's very, very convenient. And if the bass actually breaks, you still have the charger ports right here. You can't go wrong. Anyway, that's all I got to really say. Like and subscribe like always, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video.